In this video, we are going to be looking at how to check the tension on our belt drive system. One of the tools I'll be using today is a belt tension tester like this. This is what we'll use in our shops in our millwright program here at SAIT. So after I've aligned my shivs to make sure that they are running true to each other so that the belt will not be working its way to the side on any of the shivs, I can then check my tension on these shivs and make adjustments as needed. So the first thing I need to know is the center to center distance from these shafts. We can use a long straight edge to measure that. So looking at the chart that came with the tension tester tool, we see that there's two sections. We have a metric side and an imperial side in inches. Being that we started measuring in inches, we'll continue using that side of our chart. Looking at the side of our belt, we'll be able to see the cross-sectional size and length of the belt. In our case, we have an A63 belt, meaning the A is the cross-sectional size and 63 is the length of the belt in inches. So we'll use this column here to proceed, and then next thing we need to know is the smallest shiv diameter. The shiv on our motor is about 4 inches in diameter, so we'll use this row here. Our motor is running at 1755 RPM, so we'll use the 1000 to 2500 RPM range, meaning we'll need the top line of that row. And then we have two sections of the chart here. We have our uncogged and cogged sections to look at. Being that our belt is an uncogged belt and it is new, we'll use this section here, and we need about 6.8 pounds of force on the belt to ensure that it's tensioned properly. The next thing we need to do is set the tension tester to the appropriate dimensions. We have on one side inches of span, that meaning the center to center distance of our shafts of our compressor pump and our motor. We had about 20 inches. So we're going to set this little O-ring on the bottom here to approximately 20 inches. Each one of these graduations or marks is 10. So we'll have one down here, the next mark is 20. On the opposite end of our tension tester, we have the scale we use to measure the tension on our belt in pounds of force. So we need to make sure that this O-ring is seated all the way against, or all the way at the bottom, or where the zero would be. I would just like to point out before we get started here that the shiv on our motor will fit both A and B cross-section size belts. So right now, because I have an A belt, it sits a little bit deeper in the groove. It doesn't come all the way to the bottom, but it does sit a little bit deeper in the groove. So I'm going to set my straight edge on top of the belt. Then taking the tension tester tool, with the rubber side up, I can press on my belt until the rubber O-ring that we set for inches of span is parallel with the bottom of the straight edge. Then I can read the O-ring, and it's going to tell me what the tension is on my belt. So now that we've taken the tension up from our belt, the reading from our belt, we can see that we have just less than 5 pounds worth of force. We wanted 6.8, so we would need to adjust the motor to tension the belt and increase that tension to about 6.8 pounds of force. And that shows a quick and simple way for us to check the tension on our drive belt system.